Good morning, good people. Today is Sunday, December 15th. Wow. Yikes. The month is half over. Got to get your Christmas shopping done today. I've noticed it's a very different mood than years past. Seems like we've gotten to the point now where most shopping is done on the internet. And I think that's probably because so much food delivery or just deliveries are now done to people's place. You don't even have to go get it, just order it. So why deal with packages, wrapping, etc. Anyway, here we are. Today is December 15th, 2024. It is about 6 o'clock in the morning. Here we are in southwestern Nevada in Pahrump, Kentucky. I think it's going to be a great day. My paper's done off. I'm very happy about it. More about that later. This is G.school. So here we are at G.school, people. Monday through Friday, we focus on Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help our students progress through their journey of this life, focusing on physical, mental, emotional areas, like a four-legged table, right? Four-legged table, figure one leg is physical leg, a mental leg, emotional leg, and a spiritual leg. And the accomplishments of our life we stack on that table. So if you have a weak leg on your table, what is going to happen? The stuff will slide off. Well, first of all, you won't be able to put stuff on all four corners. You try to maybe stack things up on the opposite end, and that only gets you so far. So we want to help people build a solid table, solid legs, solidly attached, because you could have solid legs, but they might not be well attached, right? And then the leg falls out, everything slides off. I think my best example of that might be, say, religion. You have studied religion, you know the Bible, you've memorized more quotes than anybody. You like going to Bible study meetings because you get to show off your Bible knowledge, and you pull out your Bible and it's all underlined and ragtagged. And it's like, man, I'm sure this shows people how much of a Christian I am because I've got a really ratty-tatty Bible. But then one day you decide, oh, wow, all of that stuff I used to believe, yikes, bunk, gone. Or your faith is tested. Not there. You thought you were this type of person, you find out you're not that type of person, whatever. Boom, leg falls out, a whole bunch of your life goes down with it. Anyway, so you got to have four solid legs. So we're here to help do that, except weekends is for G.school. We just talked about the spiritual stuff. So what do we have on our hit parade? Johnny. Okay, so today's TED Talk is, don't tell me, Blaine Elkers, Waitaba. What you think about, you bring about. So this week, today is day 7 of week 2 in our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Week 2, day 7. This is the end. How, called Inside Our Skull-Sized Kingdom, how does our brain work? Type of thing. We focused on neurons, neurotransmitters, and reticular activating systems. So to sum it all up, if you think of a pie that has 3 pieces, the piece in the upper left-hand corner, which would be over here, for you, I think, because I think the screen is reversed. Anyway, that slice is neurons, our physical brain. Where are our more memories? Where are ideas? Where is all this stuff stored? How do we know it's in our brain? So we learned that on Monday. And the things are stored in neurons in our brain, and we learn that we have 86 billion neurons, and each neuron has about 10,000 connections to other neurons compared to other animals, like the worm C. elegans has 300 neurons, 7,000 connections. And we have 86 billion. And all of the other animals are in between, except there are some dolphins that have more, but they don't have a prefrontal cortex. They don't have a brain that does what our brain does. They have more neurons, but it's not the same. Could be, anyway, don't need to go down that rabbit hole. So neurons, all of our personality, our lived past, our ability to simulate, all of that stuff is stored in the neurons in our brain. And we know that. Everybody knows that, because if you have a stroke or you get a bullet through your brain or a nail or something, you get brain damage, traumatic brain injury, stroke, cancer, whatever disease, your lived past, anticipated future, your ability to locomote goes away. Uh-oh. You never want to do that on air, people. So that's what we learned on Monday. All of this stuff is stored in our brain, and the problem is our brain has the consistency of soft butter, so it's easy to damage, but it can be repaired. Can be repaired to an extent. Tuesday, neurotransmitters. All of our feelings come from the release of neurotransmitters. They're not released from an invisible man in the sky. When people are under anesthesia, when they don't feel anything, they're not releasing neurotransmitters. So, what's the point of that? Well, the point of that is if you understand how neurotransmitters work, then you can figure out how to control the release of them. Oh, I need more of that. I'm afraid, but I need to be brave. So bravery comes from the release of these particular neurotransmitters. Fear comes from the release of this. I need to turn that spigot off and turn this spigot on, type of thing. So that's how AA works. You have an urge to drink, which is a neurotransmitter dopamine. It's being released in relatively massive doses. You can't control yourself. Massive doses of dopamine are being released. And you can fight it, but you'll probably lose, because the second you put your guard down, whammo, it's like holding down a spring. The second you turn your attention, the spring pops. Okay. Or at AA, they tell you to what? Call a sponsor, go to a meeting. When you do that, you release a different neurotransmitter called oxytocin. Oxytocin, the feel-good hormone. And what that does is it turns down the dopamine. And then you don't have the compulsion to drink. And then the third one on Wednesday, we learned about the reticular activating system, which is a part of our brain right above our brain stem, at the top of our brain stem, that basically acts sort of, I call it like a radar, that's constantly scanning all information available to us to support our beliefs. So it's the part that's working when you're in a room and you hear you're in a room and somebody says your name, they're way over there, you didn't see the people, you don't know what's going on, you hear your name. Or you're in an airport and they say, well, so-and-so, please go to a white courtesy phone. That's the reticular activating system scanning all information available to us to support our belief, like my name is important. Or you are in a shopping mall and all of a sudden you feel hungry because there's a Cinnabuns over there, and they're pumping cinnamon and butter flavored air into the room. Okay. So slice 1 of the pie, neurons, slice 2 of the pie, neurotransmitters, and the bottom slice, say, is the reticular activating system. So we form beliefs which are stored in our neurons, and those beliefs are attached to feelings. So when the belief is triggered, the belief occurs, the neurotransmitter will be released. That will make us feel a certain way. Reticular activating system releases a lot of things that trigger the release of neurotransmitters also. So you're driving along, not paying attention, but the car in front of you puts on its red lights. You automatically put your red lights on. You automatically hit the brakes. You don't think about it. So anyway, without diving too deep, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we learned about those 3 parts of the brain. The idea is ultimately to figure out, who am I and why do I behave the way I do? If I know who I am and I know why I behave the way I do, I can control it. It's that simple. And so knowing where my memories are stored, how they're stored, etc., knowing that, knowing about neurotransmitters, knowing about the reticular activating system so I can program it for what's important, it works. I don't have to do things like the law of attraction. So the law of attraction is actually the reticular activating system working. We just think we're putting it out to the universe. All we're really actually doing is programming the RAS. Same thing with praying. And I know that's harsh for Christians. I know that's harsh. And I'm not saying praying doesn't work. But what I am saying is the praying activates the reticular activating system, which when you program it, you say, that's important to me. I want that information. I want that bicycle. I want whatever. I want to go to Costa Rica. So the reticular activation system says, oh, Costa Rica is really important to you. Okay, got it. So I'm going to put that on my radar. So anytime anything comes up that has anything to do with Costa Rica, I'm going to bring your attention to it. And what do I normally think? I normally think, golly gee, law of attraction. I asked the universe to tell me about Costa Rica, and it did. It works. No, it's the reticular activating system. So if we know that, we know how to program it, then we can do what Jordan Peterson says is our focus goes to that goal, and that goal pulls us towards itself, and everything else disappears. Okay. So that's where we are. Today is Blaine Elkers. Our TED Talk is Blaine Elkers talking about Waiteba. What you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. The reticular activating system. Seth Godin talking about change your shoes. Shoes are the point of greatest leverage, spot where you have traction, engage the world most directly. Ba-boom, ba-bum might be the way you engage with customers. Organizations that struggle with marketing often seem to struggle with customer service, product design, blah, blah, places where a new set of shoes might help. Customer traction is everything. It's not easy or direct as buying a pair of shoes, but it's worth it. So I'm going to click on the link, see what he's talking about regarding shoes. Ultra men's, blah, 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 running shoe. Nice looking running shoe. Commissions go to charity. Why is he advertising a shoe? A pair of cleats will change everything. It's not easy to buy a pair of shoes, but it's worth it. Okay. Pair of insoles. Let's see. Curex. Run Pro insoles for running shoes, arch support. Okay, cool. Ruby. All right, so that's Seth Godin today. What else we got? What else is on our advice from an 80-year-old? Advice from an 80-year-old is, where'd it go? Okay, who stole the advice from an 80-year-old? Never deprive someone of hope. It might be all that they have. Right. Okay, how we doing for time? Time. Such a runic rhyme. 15:42 in. Okay, I'm going to end by saying I got my paper in. Yes. I also got the book published and printed 10 copies, or have 10 copies being printed. I'm very, very happy with the result of the book. Greatly influenced by Seth Godin on this book. The layout is the same as his, meaning no table of contents, no page numbers, just the stuff. Just the stuff to make it so people can remember it. And it's a storybook. Done. But what that showed me, this 2-day exercise, Fridays, Saturdays, I still got it. I can still go 10, 12 hours focused on a project, get it done, make it happen, get her done. Yeah. So I'm very happy about that. Happy about the result. Happy that my first year of graduate school is officially completed. The work is in. Now it's just waiting for the grade, holding on by my fingertips, hopefully not fail. No, I'm not going to fail. But if I get a 0, it won't be good. I don't think I'll get a 0. All I need is a 96. Just a little 96, just a bump up there. I think a 96 will do it. And it could be just the sheer volume of the work I produced could be the thing, because this was the hardest 100 points I've ever had to get. And the 3 other papers we had to write were each worth 100 points, and those were 3 pages. So this was 10 pages in a project, but I really went in probably way overboard, but it was a thing I needed to do. So forced me to put in the time to finish what was needed to be finished. So very grateful and happy about that. Thank you, classmates. Okay, well, just appreciative, happy to be here. Hopefully Stephen Wesley will be up here today talking about a new project. So we shall see what we shall see. Okay, people. Well, with that, I am going to say sayonara. All righty then. And I will say and cut. Bonk.